Hi, good morning and welcome back to physics class. In the previous section, we discussed some numericals regarding Newton's laws of motion. In today's class, we are going to a separate article, a man inside a lift and connecting body. We will discuss these two articles in this class. As a part of recollection, in the previous theory classes I explained what is apparent weight when the lift is moving up and what is apparent weight of a man inside the lift when the lift is descending, I mean moving down. Just let's have a fast look. Case 1, when the lift is at rest, that means it is not in motion, the apparent weight is equal to mg. That's it. What it refers, apparent weight is equal to true weight, natural weight, when the lift is at rest. Case 2, the lift is moving, but with the constant velocity it is moving, with the constant velocity. Constant velocity means the acceleration is 0. In this case, apparent weight of the man is nothing but its true weight. As we discussed in the previous case, these two are same. It's a very strange thing. As per mechanics concern, a body at rest and a body moving with uniform velocity, both are equivalent. It is very strange thing to say. Once again, a body at rest and a body moving with a uniform velocity, both are equivalent with respect to our mechanics part. Right. Now case 3. What is case 3? Now it is moving upwards with an acceleration a. Lift is moving up with an acceleration a. What is the apparent weight of the man inside the lift? This is the position of the man inside the lift. Imagine he stands on a weighing pan to find the weight. Lift is moving up. As we explained, apparent weight is equal to m into g plus a. It is nothing but mg into 1 plus a by g. Like this also we can write. Anyhow, it is clear. Apparent weight is equal to actual weight plus something. What is the inference drawn? What is your observation? Clearly, apparent weight supposed to be increased. This is the reason why we are inside a moving lift. That means when the lift is moving upward, we feel we are a little bit heavier. That means our apparent weight suppose increased. It seems to be increased than the original weight. That's why we feel heavier. When the lift is moving down, we feel lighter. The reason is our apparent weight decreases. So, as case 4, when the lift is moving down with an acceleration a, what is apparent weight? It is nothing but m into g minus a. What is the other way? mg into 1 minus a by g. This is one more way of writing this. And one more interesting thing is upward, downward. Don't try to back at this upward plus, downward minus. Be thorough with the problem first. If the lift is moving up with a deceleration of, with a retardation of, then tell me, actually it is moving up. In the formula we have plus, but acceleration is negative. In such case that becomes minus. Next case, the lift is descending down with retardation. It is moving downwards, means actually the formula is minus, but with retardation then you have to consider acceleration as negative. That's why minus of minus, that becomes plus. Why I am telling in detail is some students just they will by heart, they mug up the formula, lift is moving up plus, moving down minus. Don't do it, be careful. And what is the worst case? 4 cases over. What is the next case? Unfortunately, if the cable of the lift was broken and the lift is freely falling, the cable of the lift was broken, then what happened? The lift will fall down. In such case, what is the upright weight of the man? Of course, it seems to be funny to hear, but we can calculate. When the lift cable was broken, lift is freely falling. What is the acceleration of the freely falling body? A is equal to G. That's why if you substitute in the standard equation, apparent weight is equal to m into G, minus, in the place of A, we have to write G, nothing but 0. That's why the apparent weight of a man inside a lift which is falling freely is equal to 0. If you ignore to write the word apparent, the concept will be wrong. Be careful. In some books also I am finding the weight of a freely falling body 0. It's a deadly wrong. It is a deadly wrong. There is no possibility for the weight of the body becomes equal to 0. The apparent weight becomes equal to 0. Why I am saying strongly? Weight becomes 0 means what do you mean by weight? Mg. Mg becomes 0 when and only either m or g becomes equal to 0. On the surface of the earth, there is no possibility for g becomes 0. At the same time, mass becomes equal to 0. Hence, it is not possible for a body. The weight becomes equal to 0 on the surface of the earth. Right? This is the previous conclusions drawn. Let us enter a conceptual problem basing on this. Here, see the problem now. A man in a lift feels an apparent weight W when the lift is moving up with an uniform acceleration of 1/3 of the acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity means G. Here the acceleration is 1/3 of that acceleration due to gravity. Okay? The same man when the lift is moving downwards with an acceleration of half of the acceleration due to gravity, then what is the apparent weight of the man? This is the question. When the lift is moving up, the apparent weight is given as something, and we are supposed to find what is his apparent weight when the same person in the lift getting down with half the acceleration due to gravity. In two cases we have to solve. Right? Now case 1. Case 1. What is the case 1? Either the lift is moving up or down. The lift is moving up. Good. It is clear. See, moving up with some acceleration. A is equal to how much? With what acceleration it is moving up? 1/3 that of G. 1/3 that of G. That's why acceleration A is equal to 1/3 into G. Simply speaking, G/3. Lift is moving up or down? Moving up. When the lift is moving up, what is apparent weight? What is the apparent weight? W dash is equal to m into G plus A. It is m. Come on, G plus G/3. G plus G/3. That is nothing but m into calculation 3G plus 3. That is equal to W. It is measured as W. Man feels his weight, that means apparent weight is measured as W. It is nothing but 4 mg/3. This implies mg is equal to how much? Mg is equal to 3W/4. Say it equation 1. This is case 1. Now what is case 2? The same lift is descending down. This is case 2. Case 2. The lift is descending. This is a lift and the man is descending down with some acceleration. In such case, what is the case? Apparent weight is equal to m into G minus A. Here A is equal to how much? Get the data from the problem. Half of the acceleration due to gravity. That means half into acceleration. Nothing but G/2. Now substitute in the standard equation. W dash is equal to mg minus of G/2. It is nothing but mg/2. This is nothing but mg by 2. Here we prepared the value of mg using case 1. Substitute the value of mg in this equation, then his apparent weight is nothing but, in the place of mg, 3w by 4 by 2 is there, which is nothing but 3w by 8. This is the apparent weight when the lift is moving down. When the lift is moving down. Now we will consider one more case, which is nothing but a pendulum concept. You can find this under title plumb ball. Plumb ball. Same concept. See, a mass m is suspended by a weightless string. The horizontal force required to hold the mass at 60 degrees with the vertical is, consider this is the mass m. It is suspended by means of an inextensible string having negligible mass. Then only these formulae will be applicable. Otherwise, we have to consider the mass of the string also. That's a complicated one. That's why we are considering an inextensible massless string, weightless string. Okay, see, when we want to pull it to one side, definitely we have to apply some force on it. That means, imagine you are pulling it with the help of a string like this. To keep this at making an angle theta, say theta, we have to apply some force. In this problem, we are going to calculate what is the horizontal force. So, before starting the problem, I will give you the block diagram of this one. Means what are the different forces act on this body when it is under equilibrium condition. That means, when the string is making an angle theta with the vertical, what different forces we can expect. For your convenience sake, first start with the well known one, the weight of the body, because no doubt in this, always the weight will act vertically downward. That is why I am starting with this weight. This is weight mg acts vertically downward. Clear? What else you know? Tension. This is tension in the string. Tension like this. Since it is making certain angle, we have to resolve it into both horizontal and vertical components. How it is? See, I am resolving this tension into two components by namely horizontal component, nothing but T cos theta, and one more thing, in this direction it is nothing but T sin theta, T sin theta. That is this is a given data. Once again, m is the mass of the ball suspended by means of a string. When it is pulled to a side such that it is making an angle theta using some horizontal force F. When it is at this stage in equilibrium condition, different forces act on it, mg downward vertically, tension along the string. It is resolved into two components, T cos theta and T sin theta. T cos theta vertically upward, which is balanced by weight mg, T sin theta towards the string, towards the vertical, whereas F is away from this one. So, from this diagram, we can say T sin theta is equal to F, say it equation 1. Similarly, upward force T cos theta, this must be equal to its weight mg. Mg, here he mentioned this one as capital M. See this equation 2. Now divide equation 1 with 2. Divide 1 with 2. With 2. That means simply we are doing like this. Tension gets cancelled. Sin theta by cos theta, nothing but tan theta is equal to F by mg. Here in this problem, this is the factor we are going to calculate. Therefore, horizontal force F is equal to mg into tan theta. This is the formula used. The values given in the problem you have to substitute once again. See this, capital M as it is, G okay, tan, in the place of 30 you have to write its value, it is making 60 degrees with the vertical. That is why tan 60. What is tan 60 value? It is root 3. That is why altogether we can write root 3 into mg. This is the amount of horizontal force required to hold the pendulum such that the string makes an angle 60 degrees with the vertical. Next example, this also basing on suspended bodies. See the problem. A mass of 6 kg is suspended by a rope of 2 meter from the ceiling. A force 50 Newton in the horizontal direction is applied at the midpoint P of the rope as shown in figure. What is the angle of the rope makes with the vertical in equilibrium position? So, this is a situation, it is 2 meter long, at the midpoint we are using means simply it is 1 meter, and of course the hanging part, this is 1 meter, and it is pulled with a horizontal force of 50 Newton, and the mass M is equal to 6 kg. This is the data base. Fine. And one more instruction is, take G value as 10 meter per second square and ignore the mass of the string in the problem. Okay. Here also same. I am drawing the balancing condition, the equilibrium condition for this mass M. See this mass, what are the different forces act on it? In the above half of the part, let T1 be the tension in the string. T1 is the tension, and in the below part, let T2 be the tension. T2 be the tension. And you know very well, and weight of this body acts downward, which creates the tension. This is downward. And I am resolving this tension into two mutually perpendicular components. Since the particle P, as said in the problem, is in equilibrium, I am drawing like this. See, this is nothing but T1 cos theta, where theta is the angle made by the string with the vertical, and this is nothing but T1 sin theta, be alert. Here T1 and T2, these are the two tensions in the two parts of the string, upper and lower. T1 cos theta and T1 sin theta. Well, if you are okay with this, we will proceed very simply. In the figure, outright we can do one thing. What is the value of T2 here? What is the value of T2? For this only, I am considering this part. Upward force T2, downward force mg. What is m? 6 into g means 10 as per the problem. 6. What are the units? 16 Newton. T2 is equal to 16 Newton. Right? Whenever you need, you can use this value. And coming to the horizontal, this 15 Newton pulling force is balanced by T1 sin theta. That's why T1 sin theta is equal to 50. T1 sin theta is equal to 50. Compare the verticals also. Compare the verticals. How much this is? T1 cos theta. T1 cos theta. Vertically downward, it is nothing but 60. Say the equation, because T1 is equal to T2, T2 is equal to 60 clearly this. That's why. As usual, dividing equation 1 with 2, this T1 will be cancelled. Tan theta is equal to 50 by 60, nothing but 5 by 6. 5 by 6. Therefore, the angle made by string with the vertical will be tan inverse pi by 6. That's it. This one we need. Once again I am repeating, a mass of 6 kg is suspended by a rope of 2 meter from the ceiling. This is the ceiling, it is suspended. That means initially the string may be like this. Initially the string may be like this. Now at the middle it is pulled to one side. It is pulled to one side. So this is the position of the equilibrium under the application of horizontal force on the string. Right? This is 6 kg, its weight becomes mg. So tension is equal to mg. Clearly T2 is equal to 60 Newton. Applied force horizontally is given as 50. That's why T sin theta will balance this one. T sin theta is equal to 50. T1 cos theta is equal to T2 clearly, where T2 is calculated as 60. Equation 1 and 2, by solving 1 and 2, we get tan theta is equal to 50 by 60. After cancellation, we have tan theta is equal to tan inverse 5 by 6. Here, one more case where I am going to use Lami's theorem. Lami's theorem. See, what is the application of Lami's theorem? Here, first let us go through the problem. A body of mass 5 kg is hanging from a string of negligible weight. It is a string of negligible weight. A horizontal force F is applied at a point of the string, due to which two parts of string make an angle 150. That means this is one part and this is another part. These two making an angle 150 degrees. Now what do you want? Find the force applied and also the tension in the upper part of the string. Upper part means this one. Clear? See, the mass is suspended and it is pulled horizontal force F. These two makes an angle 150 degrees. What else we have? Since its mass is 5 kg, its weight mg will act vertically downward, which is nothing but m into, that is 5 into, if you consider g as 10, 50 Newton is the downward force. The two parts of the strings makes an angle 150 degrees. From the geometry of the diagram, we can establish some facts. See, this is 90 degrees because these two are mutually perpendicular to each other. 150 plus 90, it is 240, then the remaining, this one will be 120 degrees, because altogether they must be equal to 360. Okay? Only one clue was given in the problem. The two parts of the strings makes an angle 150. Automatically this is horizontal and this is vertically suspended, hanging down because of this weight. These two must be perpendicular to each other. That's why I am drawing this 90. 150 plus 90, 240. The total should be 360. That's why we can guess this angle as 120 degrees. What is Lami's theorem? What is Lami's theorem? See, this is the diagram of Lami's theorem. Three forces, let us suppose it is P and this is Q and this is R. Three forces are acting, and see, this is alpha and this is one more beta and this is one more gamma. This is the data say. If this particle P is in equilibrium, according to Lami's theorem, this force, that means P, what is the opposite angle to this alpha? So P by sin alpha must be equal to this force, that means Q. What is its opposite angle? Beta. That's why Q by sin beta, which is nothing but, see, it is R, this force, opposite angle is gamma. That's why this is R by sin gamma. That's all. This is called Lami's theorem. When three point particle simultaneously and keeps this particle in equilibrium, gamma are the opposite angles of each force, then P by sin alpha is equal to Q by sin beta, that is equal to R by sin gamma. This is actually discussed in our previous class. You will find this if you go through our previous lesson. Technique to the given problem. First, we successfully point out what are the different forces, downward, horizontal, and of course this is nothing but T1, this is T1, of course this is nothing but T2, that's all data is given this. The two parts of the things makes 150, since these two are perpendicular 90, 150 plus nothing but 240, remaining is 120, I am writing here. So, if we apply Lami's theorem, what we can say, what we can write is, see, T1, what is opposite angle? What is opposite angle? 90. T1 by sin 90 is equal to, come on, what is next one? T2, what is this force? Opposite angle 120. So, T2 by sin 120, this is nothing but, what is this force? F. F by, what is the opposite angle? Sin 150. That's it, that's it. If we consider any two, any pair, you can calculate the remaining part of this one. Since it is clear here, T2 is equivalent to directly 50, T2 is equal to 50. That's why in the place of T2, we can substitute its value, because the tension T2 is equal to 50 Newton. If we compare these two at a time, this, see, T1 I am writing as is by sin 90, sin 90 is equal to 1, is equal to T2, just now we got its value, it is nothing but 50 by sin 120, sin 120 can be written as sin 180 minus 60, sin 180 minus 60, this is 120, sin 180 minus 60 is equal to again sin 60, that is why it is nothing but 50 by sin 60, 50 by sin 60. So, T1 is equal to 50 into what is the value of sin 60? It is nothing but root 3 by 2, its value. So, nothing but you can write 100 by root 3 whenever it is needed. In the next case, let us do one thing. If you want to calculate this F value, compare these two at a time. Compare these two at a time. So, F by sin 150 is equal to T2 by sin 120. Sin 120. You can write this one as F by sin 180 minus 30, 180 minus 30 is equal to T2 by sin 120, means it is nothing but 180 minus 60, like this you can write this. So, nothing but F by sin 30 is equal to T2 by sin 60, sin 60. Knowing the values of T2 very well, this is 50, and sin 30 it is nothing but 1 by 2, and sin 60 it is nothing but root 3 by t. We can calculate the value of F using this data. Fine. This is the application of Lami's theorem. Lami's theorem. Now, let us move to next type of set of problems under heading connected bodies. The relevant theory was discussed in detail in the previous classes. Connected bodies. That means here two bodies were connected by means of an inextensible light string which is passing over a frictionless pulley. It is a frictionless pulley which is suspended from a rigid support like this. Now, see two masses 1 kg and 2 kg connected by means of a string which passes over a frictionless pulley. What is the magnitude of the acceleration of the masses? That means actually they are not balanced. If you hold them, then only they are static. If you release it, what happened? The force which dominates, it will pull the system towards it. That means it is clearly here 1 kg weight coming to this one, it acts in this direction, whereas 2 kg weight acts in this direction. Since it is dominating, no doubt it will pull the string towards this. Anyhow, these two masses moves with the same acceleration. Okay, so how to calculate what is the acceleration? And of course, we can calculate what about the tension in the string. See, this is tension T and this is also tension T. The acceleration we need, once again I am telling, I am getting it from the base of Newton's laws. What is the base of Newton's laws, basic formula? F is equal to ma. Very funnily we are writing again. Okay, see, acceleration A is equal to F by m. This is the system. That's why I am telling, so many times I am hearing a comment, sir, I forgot the formula, sir. There is no separate formula. There is only the foundation we have. See, acceleration is equal to force by mass. Okay, here some force is acting in this direction and some force is acting in this direction. That's why which force we have there. The net force we have to consider. The net force we have to consider. Unbalanced force, the other name is. Here, what is the force acting in this direction? In this direction, see, it is nothing but mg. That means, shall I write m2g? M2g, right? What about this one? It is acting m1g. Which one is greater? Automatically, this one is greater. That's why, what is unbalanced force? See, m2g minus m1g. This is called net force acting divided by mass is there. What do you mean by mass? This is total mass. Total mass of the system. Total mass. Total mass of the system means what? Here masses and strings are there. These are negligible. That's why total mass of this one is. If we substitute, A is equal to m2 minus m1 into g divided by total mass means m1 plus m2. Simply substitution. What is m2? It's given as 2. What is m1? It is nothing but 1. Into g, it is nothing but 10. Divided by m1 plus m2, it is nothing but 2 plus 1. This is 3. Nothing but 2 minus 1. 1 into 10, 10 by 3. Look, it is 10 by 3. This is called acceleration of the system. If you go for decimal system, get 3.333 and so on. What will be the units of this? It is nothing but meter per second square. Meter per second square. Once again, two bodies having masses 1 kg and 2 kg are connected by a string which pass over a frictionless pulley. This is the theoretical diagram. We want to calculate what is the magnitude of acceleration. When we release this system, being dominating force, the system towards it. Hence, totally this will move like this. It is moving with certain angle acceleration. This mass will move up with the same acceleration. So, I am deriving from the basic formula F is equal to A is equal to net force by total mass. Net force means this is the downward force acting and this is the downward force acting. What is the resultant force of this one? See, m2g minus m1g by total mass. This one. How can you find out the tension in the strings? Tension in the strings. How is this? For example, if you consider this part, what is the block diagram for this one? See, this is m2, okay? This is m2. So, m2g is the downward force acting. What is the upward force acting? It is nothing but tension, right? Totally this is moving with a net force F. Is nothing but m2a. It is nothing but m2a. So, coming to the solution, what is the downward force? m2g minus t is equal to m2a. This is m2a. From this, take this tension to this side. Therefore, tension T is equal to m2g minus m2a, which is nothing but if you take m2 as common, m2 bracket begins g minus a is the acceleration. This is the tension in the string. Fine.